De la right, my MVVs, welcome. Royal slap, they say it sounds the loudest. Slap flying all over the palace of the Ooni of Ife, allegedly, as Lizzy gave Mariam gua. Mariam retaliated gua. Mariam gave Lizzy gua. Lizzy retaliated gua. Slaps were just flying all over the place in the palace, allegedly, as they said that Mariam and Lizzy had a very, very serious fight over the fact that Mariam had the audacity to try and command Lizzy out of Ooni of Ife's chambers because it's been 30 days since Ooni of Ife left an instruction that none of them is allowed into the royal palace. Into the royal chambers. Okay, so you do know, I don't know if you've been following the gist that was making the round sometime last month on social media, where it was said that by virtue of the fact that Mariam and Olori Runke and Olori Ashley are very adamant about the fact that they will not be vacating the palace, the Ooni of Ife stated clearly that none of them is allowed to see him in his chambers. And right now, from what they said, that these women have not entered his chamber since that day, that even though families came to intervene, that he did not uplift that order he gave, and he said the order still stood. Now, 30 days to that time, they say it's been Lizzy the entire time, spending time with the Ooni of Ife. Olori Temitope has been doing a lot of traveling. As we all are aware, allegedly, even if you're not told, you could see that Toby is nowhere around the palace. Toby is not in the palace right now. A lot of people are saying it's because she's expecting a baby, and they said that she's afraid of being in the palace. She wants to raise, carry her baby out there because she's afraid of what otherwise may do to her. And I can never come here and tell you these are all statements of fact, because I've always told you I do not live in the palace of the Ooni of Ife. These are all alleged information, okay? And so, with Toby not being in the palace, with Olori Temitope having to travel around a great deal, Lizzy has been one person who's been really stationed, like situated in the palace of the Ooni of Ife, because she's got phobia for flight. If she finds it very difficult to travel, I've explained this to you time and time again, and of course you do know it's an alleged information. So for these 30 days, they say Dr. Lizzy has had Ooni of Ife all to herself. Now, after 30 days, these women could not wait for 1 minute to go and see the Ooni of Ife in his chambers. Of course, you do know that as women, you just want to be with your husband, talk to him, play, gist, and all of that. And apparently, these are the things that they have missed about the Ooni of Ife. They wanted to go and rekindle and all of that. The first person who came after 30 days was Lizzy Mariam. And they say she came at a time where Ooni was inside the chambers with Lizzy. But because Ooni had not given the security, from what we are hearing, they said that there is a gate, the first gate and the second gate that leads to the chambers of the Ooni of Ife. So when you're walking in, he sees you, and from upstairs he's able to see who is walking, and they say the cameras and all of that. So apparently Ooni had seen Mariam, but maybe he wasn't ready to see Mariam at that time inside the chambers. Ooni did not allow Mariam coming, and Mariam had to go back. But when Mariam went back, Mariam did not go back to her own chalet. They say she went to sit by some visitors' seats close to the walkway that leads to Ooni of Ife's chambers. Okay, they say it's a long walkway. She went to go and sit there, and she sat down there until Lizzy came out of Ooni of Ife's chambers, allegedly. As Lizzy was even passing, Lizzy didn't know that Mariam was there, and then Mariam intercepted Lizzy, and that was how the gbasgbos started. That what makes you feel that after 30 days, you have been with Kabiyesi for 30 days, over 30 days, you have been seeing him, you've been having communications with him, you have been the only one. What makes you feel that you're the only one who has the authority to be with Kabiyesi under the circumstances when you know that we are many? Even when Kabiyesi gave us an order not to see him, you were always seeing him, you couldn't intervene, you couldn't say anything. How selfish can anybody be? And they say Lizzy warned her not to call her names again, that she's not going to stand there and watch her call her names again. And they say she said she will call Lizzy whatever she wants to call Lizzy. Then she went ahead to say Lizzy is the most selfish person that anybody can ever imagine. That really provoked Lizzy, and Lizzy wanted to walk out on her. They say she held Lizzy in her dress and the dress from her back and gave Lizzy a very dirty slap. Why? That was how Lizzy retaliated. She gave another one. Lizzy retaliated, and people ran to them and held them. That was how the gbasgbos started. That it was a very, very serious gbasgbos. And they said that problem was happening. Then the Ooni of Ife heard from inside that there was a problem like that. He now decided to come out. When he came out, he met Mariam, and he told Mariam that what you are looking for, you are not going to get it from this palace, but you will at the end of the day move, because the God that he served, that's the Ooni of Ife, is going to move Mariam. That what is the meaning of this, and what is the meaning of this embarrassment? How dare you lift your hand against Lizzy? As what? Your daughter or what? They say she was the one who was even crying as though an injustice had been done to her. They say Ooni asked her, is it Lizzy that gave an order that you cannot see me? Or I gave that order. Why do you not take responsibility for the things that you do? Why do you like to hang it on other people? The next minute is Naomi's fault. The next minute is Tade Nikawo's fault. The next minute is another person's fault. You are never faulty. You never sit down to evaluate the situation, to evaluate the things you have done that is making people find it very difficult to trust you. And you want to put this again on Lizzy. What has Lizzy got to do with the situation of things? You brought this upon yourself. I asked you to go out and live in a place that I will provide for you guys. You came together and you said you were not going. And I gave an order that you don't want to see me, that I don't want to see you again. And you come in front of my chariot to fight, to slap my wife. And she said Lizzy slapped her too. And people confirmed that she was the first person. Lizzy was just walking, wanted to just walk away from her. They said that was how she held her dress from the back and gave her a very dirty slap. So my thing is that, what was she thinking? Like Lizzy will let her go? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Dela Ram. I bring you fresh and spicy gist from the source. It's still on the royals. How are you guys doing? I appreciate you. Happy New Week. May God bless you. Please subscribe if you're yet to subscribe. So that was the royal gbasgbos we had. Slaps flying all over the palace. Right now, Ooni of Ife's palace smells of slap. These people, they will not let Ooni of Ife rest. I wanted to bring you this update. I'm going to bring you more. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, Dela Wright.